a long time before I got to that sound stage, I had to deal with a whole bunch of things. I had to deal with the technology of film music at that time. And I'd had no formal training, so I grabbed the classic text in this, which is called Scoring for Films. That was the book at the time.
Is that the Fred Carlin book?
No, this was an earlier book than Fred's book. I think it may have been written by Earl Hagen or some name. Is that the name? It was extremely helpful. I mean, it was absolutely necessary for me because it took me by the hand into the nuts and bolts of film scoring. And then I had to get my electronic studio really tweaked and ready to roll. And fortunately, right about that time, there was a big breakthrough in the synthesizer industry. It was the appearance for the first time of a polyphonic synthesizer that was digitally controlled. It still made analog sounds, but it had digital controls and programmability for the first time. This was the Prophet synthesizer made by Sequential Circuits. And they had a prototype. It was a 10-voice synthesizer. And I still remember the day that Patrick Gleason, one of the really early and top synthesists, called me on the phone and said, "Denny, what we've been waiting for years has finally arrived." And he started describing the synthesizer. I said, "I got to have it for this project. Have to have it." Well, it turned out that it really was a prototype in that you play this thing for about 10 minutes and the power supply heated up everything so much it began to go out of tune. So it was hardly an instrument to take out on the road for concert work, but for scoring for films it was okay because I could play on it for 10 minutes if I needed to and I would let it cool off. So I could sequentially get tapes laid down using this synthesizer. And this was the first time, to my knowledge, that particular synthesizer was used in a film score, and it really opened up the whole electronic universe
So
for
was
me.
this the first time that digital equipment had been used to score a film?
I think it's the first time that a digital polyphonic synthesizer was ever used. I mean, there were other digital equipment around. I mean, digital delays and other things, were available at that time, but this was a real breakthrough in the technology. Mm-hmm. And so that was really exciting for me, and I began to meet with Phil to do what's called spotting the film.